What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. We have another video on analytics on the Dynasty Fantasy Football rookie side. This is going to be basically a secondary one to the first one, which the first one we talked about running backs. Now we're talking about wide receivers. What's the difference between the two positions when it becomes draft capital? We care about draft capital because the NFL draft is coming up soon, and it's going to change a lot of things for some of these rankings, moving a couple players down, up, sideways. Some people might say the same. But round one, we're going to go through this compared to some of the running backs just to kind of show you the drastic nature differences. When you draft a wide receiver in round one, the first 3 years, their chances of being a wide receiver one. We see Jamar Chase, we think Justin Jefferson, we think all these amazing things. But 5.26% of receivers will have a season as a wide receiver one. That's so small to what probably majority of people think that they're going to get out of Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, Drake London. They think they're getting the next top 5 dynasty wide receiver like that. And really you have a 5.26% chance of having, and this is over 20 years of content, 20 years of research and analytics on wide receivers being in the top 12. You have a 5.62% chance, or 5.2, yeah, we'll just say 5.3% chance. Screw it. 5.3% chance of having a wide receiver finish in the top 12 in one of their first 3 years, which is actually more than their rookie year. We talk about their second year, wide receiver 2, or sorry, not even the second year. The wide receiver 2 chances is 18.4% chance. A top 24 wide receiver, which we all come to know and love, the DJ Moore, the Terry McLaughlins, the guys that are being traded away for Garrett Wilson's, being traded away for Treylon Burks, guaranteed wide receiver 2s, where you have an 18.4% chance of having a wide receiver 2 in the first 3 years. Which sounds ugly, but you have the Jalen Rakers, you have the Henry Ruggs, you have all these different wide receivers. I love CeeDee Lamb, but even CeeDee Lamb has struggled to become a fantasy relevant wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy has not become a top 24 wide receiver. We all hope he does, but he was a round one drafted wide receiver, and has failed to become that in his first 2 years. And all of a sudden I was going to say, now all of a sudden my computer just turned off, but now it's back on. I don't know what that was all about. Let's look at the running backs. The running backs in the first 3 years, your chances are 25% chance if a round one running back, if I can talk, and RB2 for running backs is 55% chance. We did this in the last video. We did all the research, and then we did round 2. It's 14% for a running back 1, and 28% for an RB2 in the first 3 years. This is for running backs. For wide receivers, you can just see that you have a lot less chance. So draft capital means so much more for a running back position, and it's why running backs get drafted over wide receivers. And it's a lot of times why if I have a tie, I'm drafting the running back over the wide receiver, and then I am dumping that running back for either draft capital or that wide receiver, because longevity for the wide receivers, of course, are more, but the running backs, the bigger hits, the more immediate impact, and what is this, a pun? No, maybe it's not a pun. They hit the ground running? Is that a pun? Maybe, I don't know. Whatever it is. Round 2 wide receivers, 2.38% chance of being a wide receiver 1 within their first 3 years, a 10.71% chance of being a wide receiver 1 within their wide receiver 2 within their first 3 years. Round 3, 0% chance. And this is not including last year, but 0%, and then 3.66 for a wide receiver 2. If you look at 4 through 7, non-existent. I mean, you're looking at Stephon Diggs, round 5, and you're not looking at much more. If you include last year, you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown in round 4, early round 4, and in my opinion was a round 3, potentially late round 2 talent that just dropped to round 4. So really, you look at, and we're gonna even put up the chart up here for fantasy points per game. You just look, and of course it goes down, but after round 3, I mean, you go from 6 and change down to 5 and change, but it really doesn't even give the full load. There are breakout players that happen more at round 3, round 2. I mean, after round 3, it's really, there's not much to be liked there. And so, again, I put the dark line after round 3 of like, here's the cutoff. If players fall into round 4, the chances of me drafting them go down significantly. I loved some wide receivers like Austin Watkins and Tamarian Terry, and there was definitely some wide receivers that I really liked that just kept falling in the draft, and some went undrafted. And of course, when that happens, you almost have to basically just shove them way down your list and say, NFL teams don't believe that they don't believe that they're worthy to be NFL talent. And so that's what we had to do. So that is wide receivers. On the next video, we are going to be doing quarterbacks and tight ends. We all want to know which quarterbacks succeed. All right? We'll see you tomorrow.